In wine there is wisdom, in beer there is freedom, in water there is bacteria. This is Alex Patton with KSU News Now. 2018 is a good year for Georgia's independent craft brewing community. The passing of state Senate legislation last year opened up the local market for exponential growth, and brewers are responding with more creative innovation than ever. The friendly competition between brewers in Georgia is increasing more every month as breweries are finally making enough money to expand their business and invest in more experimental endeavors. Riding the coattails of the expanding local craft beer movement is a community of trailblazing brewers enthusiastically championing the Western revival of an ancient alcoholic beverage called mead. Mead is a light, notably sweet beverage made by fermenting honey with water. The oldest records of honey fermentation date back to 7000 BC China, but in the West, mead is primarily revered as the beverage of choice for the heroic Scandinavian and Celtic warriors of the early medieval period. The drink is comparable to wine in its presentation and drinkability, but the mead community is more related to craft beer producers in its highly experimental approach to flavoring and variation. Robin Kosaurus is the owner of Viking Alchemist Meadery, the first full-scale meadery in the Cobb County area and one of the most successful in the state.
We started as homebrewers probably about 9 years ago. It was actually my son and his friend Nick. They were at a medieval reenactment event, and one of the things that people like to reenact is the making of alcoholic beverages. So they went off looking for something interesting to drink one night, found an encampment that was serving mead. They'd never had it before. Somewhere on the fifth mug, Nick had the bright idea that this is really good. We should make this. And Brian, I believe his response was, yeah.
Kosaurus and his son started homebrewing mead from store-bought kits and ingredients, bringing their mead to parties and sharing it with friends, who quickly convinced them to start brewing commercially. Kosaurus already had previous experience as a small business owner, and he had the business sense to recognize that mead was an unknown commodity in the area. The success of Viking Alchemist Meadery has inspired more small-time homebrewers to get into the mead game, but Kosaurus says he doesn't mind.
We're not in danger of flooding the mead market quite yet, and in fact we're just the opposite. The vast majority of the people come in here have never heard of mead. Our goal as part of this business is to bring mead into the mainstream. I think we're all different enough that, just like the beer guys, we'll start to bring that knowledge and variety. I don't see them as competition. Right now, the more the better for us, I think.
Kosaurus is an encouraging figure for homebrewers like Randall Dolan, who discovered the mead market by accident and immediately fell in love. He's working on opening a commercial facility called Leprechauno Meadery sometime next year.
The first time I tried mead that I can recall, I was stationed in Brussels, Belgium, when I was in the Marine Corps in 2009. That pretty much kind of set the wheels going because it was like, man, this stuff is really good, but it's so hard to find. And so I was like, well, let me see if I can try my hand at it. And came out well. Had a lot of trades at the time that I was trading beer with, and I would throw them in a bottle of my home brew, and got some good feedback, and that was encouraging as well, and that's what's kept me going.
Dolan's homebrewing obsession progressed the same way any successful brewers does, by word-of-mouth support from the brewing community and a drive for perfection.
I've had a lot of good people and a lot of good feedback. We want to open next year. We're still really kind of early stages as far as funding and obviously production. We do plan on having an event, I guess maybe around summertime, just to have people come and just sample our meads, just sample what I've made, give me some real feedback, and let me know if it's something that's that interests them, or if it's garbage, let me know. Just be honest with me.
Mead brewers like Viking Alchemist and Leprechauno are bringing honey fermentation back into the public interest. Viking Alchemist has quickly outgrown its original location, and Kosaurus is looking for a larger building while simultaneously working to open a honey-based beer brewery called Mandatory Fund Brewing Company sometime this year. In the meantime, brewers like Dolan will continue to work hard perfecting their craft from the comforts of home until they can join the commercial market.